Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to GrowedUpGeek Gaming, your home for narrative and roleplay focused tabletop role-playing game actions. It is Tuesday night. We are down here for our flagship long-term campaign, entering our third year together. Now moving on to the Pathfinder 2nd Edition system and our campaign Bloodlords. With me always is our amazing cast. We'll get to them in a second. We'll do some intros, quick recap as we begin the second episode of season 2 today, and then we will jump right into what I say every week, another big episode. I'll start. I'm Manny at GrowedUpGeek on your social medias, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. If you like what we do here, give us a like, follow, subscribe, high five, fist bump, consent given, pat on the butt. Anything to show your appreciation. We love hearing from people. Love to see people in chat. As far as YouTube goes, sorry, we are very far behind on the uploads. We will have all of the rest of season 1 coming very soon, and right behind it, back on our regular release schedule. We are terribly sorry about that. I think that is it for everything. It's time to meet our amazing cast. We've been doing this together a long time, and we are always down to have a little bit of fun with some dice rolling. Let's see. Who are we going to start with? Let's start... let's see. Everybody's a good choice. All right. Let's start with Milky Boy. All right. So you have thwarted this plot that you were kind of brought into in the middle. You've been a hell of a supportive, new guy to the team. You've gotten something done. You've gotten the favor of the local bloodlord. It is now time for some vacation. How does Milk do without, a pressing issue? And for the most part, give us a quick overview of what Milk's going to be getting into while we have a little bit of downtime here.
Well, Milk is pretty good with downtime. He's always got a inquisitive mind. So when he has time to himself, that's basically his time to create and repair things, create things, work on new formulas, new machines. That's kind of his favorite time, is when there's nothing on the docket.
And so you're basically just undead Dr. Emmett Brown, just going ham in the basement, making all kinds of shit, huh?
Yeah, cool. Pretty much.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love it. Dr. Emmett Brown, great character. Fabulous. Great you could be here. I hope you have some fun on your week off, and I hope you don't blow up the house. Let's move directly upstairs to our other time zone brother here. Nick, tell us a little bit about Salvatore, and then it seems in your kind of solving, yours was more of a fact-finding mission. You wanted to learn a little bit more as you thwarted this plot, only because you felt you could do better. And in addition to that, you seem to have made kind of a little bestie last week. Had a bunch of little insider necromancer jokes. You and Berline seem to be cool. Tell us about Salvatore, what he's going to be doing on this week off, and how he's feeling about, having a little, definitely made an impression on the local bloodlord.
Well, Salvatore being a con man at heart, and just like a royal ass kicker, or ass kisser, I should say, not an ass kicker. He mainly hides and runs.
Both.
Tries to kick ass, mostly kisses it. So he's pretty stoked that he is making some headway in at least gaining favor with the people that he would like to gain favor with. Everybody else can kind of fudge off. Yeah, he's having a great time. And on his downtime this week, he's going to try to set some things in motion for a big surprise for everyone at the end of the week.
Very excited. I can't wait to see this thing come together. Sliding down to the most local to me, Lewis, tell us about Vorys. You are, or were, a member of the city guard, kind of upstart to now the kind of elite operators of the local bloodlord, so quite the come up there. Should your adventure, which it most likely will, spread beyond Geb. How are you going to feel about leaving this place? Do you feel like now that this thing has subsided, is it in a better place than it was at least when the adventure started?
Vorys is kind of, I don't know. I guess he's a realist, so he'll always see that there's always something that's gonna be going down no matter what. Whether he's involved in it or not, it's just a matter of, where it goes down and how big it really is. Do I feel the place is in a little bit better, I guess. He definitely feels like he did something. Whether he did something or not is really to be seen.
I mean, the conspiracy to poison the living seems to have stopped, so there's that.
I mean, yeah,
I guess.
Was everybody happy? Is everybody happy about that? I guess it's a 50-50 thing.
I'm not here for everybody.
Exactly, right? I'm here to get paid. But going out of Gib, Vorys is a little apprehensive. He really doesn't know if he wants to leave again. He kind of came to Geb to kind of hide out, getting big enough to where he can travel out. He may go a little incognito.
We'll see if that comes up. It probably will. Last and not least, I was like, I have a hard time calling Kreegan like the least subtle amongst us because Milk is right there. You do lack a certain deft touch, we will at least say. You're not the least subtle, but you're up there. And in that lack of subtlety, you have seemed to have been the kind of biggest kind of backroom shaker this week leading through this adventure. While everybody has kind of served Geb as a whole, you have taken a side, granted your own, in a little interfactionary squabble. So tell us about Kreegan, how you feeling about saving the town, and how you feel about, like I said, making a real political move in front of the Lord Governor and the local Bloodlord that doesn't seem to be disputed.
Yeah, so Kreegan feels like he has earned the respect of the town. Not only has he and his traveling companions brought food back to the living, but he has also helped the builders secure a major win. So, which for the orcs, who are, the biggest employer of the orcs is the builders, he feels like they should respect him. So he is planning on getting, let's just say, a sign of that respect during his downtime. And in doing so, he will also do a little bit of work, stay busy, and he may have a project to help Vorys with as well.
Is it more home improvement? Do you need a skylight? Is that what this is?
A little bit of home improvement, but it will
skylight, y'all.
It will not go poorly this time because
I mean the last one. Wow.
Kreegan is helping, not the one leading the project. So.
Okay. You're on the builders, bro. Like maybe you should be good at that. All right.
He's very good at lifting the things, hammering them.
I work for the builders. I wouldn't say I build anything. Got you.
Yeah, he's not the architect. He just follows the blueprint.
I pick up stones. All right, so that is our amazing cast. Last week in our second season premiere of our campaign here, the party, fresh from having defeated Kepgeta the Hag-Nailed, still a great name, searching the room, they found a prisoner who, upon a little, I don't know, Salvatore, how would you put it?
The prisoner that we took?
When you probed her mind a little teensy bit.
like mostly fear. I feel like she was, and fear and just like blandness.
Emotionally abused, tortured, mentally tortured by
Her
Kepgetta.
mind grapes had been squozen already.
Yeah, it wasn't a good harvest. Wine was a little bitter for Salvatore's mind wine. Fearful that her aiding Kepgetta was the reason why the party had arrived and that they were there to kill her. Upon a little kind of rationalization or hoping for some acceptance of responsibility, she asked to have her life ended. Vorys promptly delivered. They took the other prisoner back to Lady Berline Howdeli's estate to find out that she was not home. Upon some kind of rough treatment, hanging him from the gate, dragging him across town. Kreegan kicked him a couple of times, I think. He was eventually turned over to Berline. Party went about their day. You guys went and saw Red, yeah?
You can't forget Kreegan held him up like a fish.
Yeah, and then hung him upside down from the gate, too, and you had to help him get down because the guards couldn't do it.
Yeah.
The guy did not enjoy his final moments before becoming Haldoli's newest pet.
And yes, we did go see Red as well.
Okay. You saw Red, saw a little bit, got some money. Did you guys buy anything?
No.
Just sold stuff? He's gonna look into a gun for our little nonplus with the blunderbuss, who feels like he's ready for something beyond my first firearm. Went home and were promptly, and they felt rudely, greeted by the high guard of the city, the personal protection of the Lord Governor, who he would claim to be aggressively invited. The party would disagree, to dinner, at which point they found their good friend Berline hanging out, having a good time, being kind of drunk and a joy. Salvatore and her had a great time, constantly talking over the Lord Governor and really kind of emasculating him in front of the entire party. After telling them everything that they know and they had discovered, Howdely and the Lord Governor said that they would look into it and that both of them would get back to the party as soon as they had something for them. Howdely then dissed the Lord Governor one last time before drunkenly going home, at which point the party was very clearly over. The party returned home, went to bed, and now we will pick it up the day after their dinner at the Lord Governor. Season 2, Episode 2 of Bloodlords. We've titled A Well-Earned Break. Hey, awfully benign title. So morning comes. Who's going to be first awake? Does anybody not sleep?
Starting to sleep.
Oh no, I sleep.
So Salvatore, after everybody kind of goes to bed, Milk, you need to sleep? Okay.
Yeah, Milk sleeps.
Okay. So it's just you and the big disembodied hand, kind of followed you around, wants to kind of do stuff. Loves it if you just pick up something and throw it, and he goes and grabs it for you and brings it back. If you don't have anything to actually do. But from your mansion up on the hill, overlooking town, as sun comes up, you notice that the town has a lot more activity than it has in a very long time. And more than just people out in the streets, there seem to be more than a few wagons with building materials making their way into the city.
Going into the city?
Going into, yes. Let me put up the map of Greydirge. All right.
Somehow I imagine Salvatore like sitting on the front porch smoking and just watching everybody and like coming up with schemes.
Just be peering out of the blinds. Just
Okay. So you guys are all in the Bloodlord's Grace on the south end of the city. And so, as such, Like you're right along the main path, the main road into the city, and you will just see wagons upon wagons of what look like building materials, accompanied by large and an awful lot of orcs making their way into the city in the morning.
Is Kreegan aware of?
Depending on how long it takes you to get up, are you an early riser?
Kreegan typically would be an early riser.
Okay. As everybody kind of gets up, as long as it's not into like 11, 12 o'clock in the morning, noon, you're going to see it. Maybe not as much as Salvatore. They were really at it bright and early this morning, sometimes even before the sun had come up. But you're going to see more and more, way more than usual. A number of, like I said, wagons with building materials, stone, huge lumber, accompanied by orcs making their way into the city.
I'll let Salvatore continue, but when it gets to my turn, I'll
Okay.
check up on that. So
Gets a little later in the morning. Everybody kind of makes their way up. Milky Boy, what are you going to do first thing when you wake up?
First thing is Milk just woke up. And he missed all the wagons and everything. He was dead asleep. If he could sleep a little, he will sleep a lot. And he comes up and he's all foggy from oversleeping. What's going on? I could swear I kept hearing things.
Make your way upstairs. Salvatore, what are you doing while everybody else sleeps?
So last episode, he ended with measuring the big hand for an outfit. So he's going to take his measurements and a list of some things and make his way into the town.
Okay. You gonna be gone before everybody gets up, or?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he'll be gone. Right when the sun comes up, he's gonna go bother some shopkeepers by just knocking on their door till they open it for him.
Okay. Kreegan, you're going to hear the door slam. Salvatore leaving, not really aware of what it means to have to sleep, so it makes a shit ton of noise on his way out. What are you going to do when you wake up?
yeah, so Kreegan's normal morning routine, he would probably not in his armor, but he'd probably put on enough to like work out, do his like morning jog, push-ups, all that stuff. So he'd probably be
Oh, Milk would join you for those.
cool. So
So that's what Milk does. He will join Kreegan for morning exercise.
I have the Apollo Creed, Rocky Balboa half shirt running on the beach training montage in my head. And if I'm wrong, don't tell me.
no, I was literally, before you said that, I was about to say, think Rocky running, but I wasn't going to say the beach.
Cool.
But yeah,
Good.
think Rocky.
Love it. We're all there. Cool.
We're running in the basement.
But seeing the orcs bringing all these building materials in, Kreegan hasn't necessarily worked with the builders very closely since we started, so he would probably go up to the first one that he would like recognize, like one that he had worked with before or grew up with, and he would say, is there a new project here in Greydirge?
Like you're going to run down from the house to the street?
Yeah, like as soon as Kreegan sees it, he's going to be curious, just because
You're going to see a bunch of orcs. They're the largest tribe kind of employed by the builders in Geb. You know them as the Blood Tusks. Their name is a lot more ferocious than it implies. They are the Dread Pirate Roberts of orcs. They're not very threatening. They get by on their name alone. their primary existence is legitimately working for the builders. And, you know, they kind of recognize you. You definitely recognize who they are, not specifically, but the tribe and their purpose within the builders. And they go, hey, they all kind of see you, you know, barreling down in plum smugglers. Is that what they were? Yeah, plum smugglers. Orc versions. Come running down the gate, and all of them, you know, the fuck is this guy doing? And I can see his balls. And you're gonna run up on them, and I think it's him. Yeah, it is him. And they're all gonna, you know, kind of like, I don't know, whatever orcs do to affirm, you know, your presence among them. I don't know if it's a chest bump, if it's a headbutt, but whatever the custom is, they are happy.
I'm thinking one of the.
Okay.
You know.
Absolutely happy to give it to you. Anybody in the house can hear what sounds like horses on cobblestones, but it's not. It's these orcs beating their chests at Kreegan's like presence. They've all stood up straight. You know, they want to look impressive to you.
Kreegan, you know, his newfound rise to fame, he enjoys it. It's you know, the orcs are a very hierarchical society, at least in his immediate clan they are. So to be respected like this among so many is a great honor among orcs. So he will take a second to sort of appreciate it before he says to one of them, has the builders assigned a new task here in Greydirge?
We're to reopen the bank. They're putting offices here. They feel like there's so much to be done that they need an office here, and the bank is a good place to be, especially since they already own it.
Yes, I was aware they owned it. This is a very fast turnaround. Impressive even to me, and I've worked with them for a lot of years.
They like having a bloodlord to protect them, and apparently this ovens project is really about to start getting going once the bank is done, kind of as a reward to the bloodlord here for siding with the builders.
That sounds great. I am sure that the builders in general will profit greatly from this, and it has been an honor to aid in their success.
Yeah, well, and then suddenly like the wagon starts to move, and like, all right, well, we have to go, you know, and they give you the salute again, and by now other people, not orcs, in the caravan of all the wagons have turned and kind of looked, and you're kind of clogging traffic on your way into the city right now. So they're going to kind of move to be respectful. Plus the wagon's so loaded with like stone that it's going to take a minute for the horses to actually get moving to begin to move. And they're like, come by and see us. I'm sure somebody will be by to see you later today. And they all kind of laugh and give you the big salute as they walk on.
Kreegan will pound his chest bag at them, and then Kreegan will get back to his morning running routine with Milk.
Okay.
Yeah. Milk standing outside the front door in a matching pair of plum smugglers. And he's like, Are you done? Are you done yet? We were in the middle of working out.
Vorys.
Bigger business.
He's trying to. Kreegan just leaves him, and he's just like shaking mid pump, and he just runs down the hill.
Spot.
He's
Ah!
all,
I'm all right. I can't really die, but still, thanks. Vorys, depending on the morning, you heard a loud slam at the door of Salvatore leaving. You have heard two people who should not be wearing things described as plum smugglers running through the house, potentially running out of the house, slamming the door, screaming at orcs in the street. Not gotten a moments of peace. How have you?
These people have no idea what it is to live with roommates. Have no idea. So Vorys is definitely gonna wake up just fucking one of those like just here's the banging around and rolls around. Here's the banging around, rolls around. It's just, what? Doesn't anybody take a fucking day off around here? And he'll just throw the fucking covers off and all right, I guess I'm getting up now. And just, slowly makes his way out of the room. And I guess everybody's already out of the house by now, right?
Yeah. Milky Boy and Kreegan are out in the front porch, like screaming. Salvatore's off in town. And as you come out of your room, you can smell fresh baked goods. These a little sweet. And then like kind of a ruckus going on in the kitchen as would be expected.
So Vorys will stroll into the kitchen and he'll look down and I see you've been busy again.
Once again, like completely covered in flour. This weird little, like, it looks like a mustache on one of his fingers, and he has this like ridiculous accent, and he kept saying croissant in like the most pretentious way as he like points you to them.
Croissant.
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 Right. He's got a little beret on. He's baking in it. Smells like a lot of cheese in the kitchen as well. And then like little blueberry muffins and like all of this stuff. But by the time you get there, he is covered in flour. He's got a little cigarette hanging out of like the open hole. Little weird mustache and just a pile of baked goods. And he keeps switching accents as he points to things. And it looks like our goon is on like a 96-hour week. My man has not had a lot of time to sleep. He's been mixing and baking like nonstop. There's probably a lot of cocaine involved. He definitely doesn't know what day it is. But he's very proud of what he has made, and it is all fantastic.
The knuckle hair mustache is really doing it for me.
Yeah. And so you're suggesting that he participated in Wake and Bake?
The opposite.
Bake and bake.
Oh, Wake and Bake. Yes,
no way.
yes. Sorry, I went to the drug reference. Yes, no, you're literal. Yes.
Well, I'm glad you've at least been quiet with what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's great. Look at all this stuff, man. I am so proud of it. He just looks like he's kind of like leaning to one side, kind of rights himself.
I am proud that you are taking pride in your work now.
It's great, man.
No, let me finish. Let me finish. I'm gonna need you to take a day off.
All right. I have so much stuff that I have to finish.
No. Let me eat what is here. You're killing me right now.
Is it enough?
You have baked. There's. I could feed a small army with what you have made for us.
I miss the army.
I cannot feed a small army because then people will be beating down our door begging to be fed. I'm going to need you to take a day off just until we get to, a moderate supply of what's in the coffers and what's on the plate.
Is it too much?
It's a little much.
All
but
right. Sorry.
I'll chalk it up to learning. I'll give you that, your excitement. It's a new thing. Everybody likes jumping into new things with their both feet, well, in your hands, both fingers. But
gets a little
I'm going to need you to take a day off. And I am going to take a day off as well. Well, I mean, it's not quite a day off because apparently my ruckus friends don't know how to have a quiet day. So, yes, would you like to have a nice quiet day around this house? Because I would.
I mean, yeah, as long as you're sure you don't need anything, we just...
No, I'm good.
Okay.
You go take a nap.
All right. He just kind of, like, takes off his little apron, his little beret, and goes to sleep in, like, one of those baskets that you would draw, like, a fruit display of. One of those, like, wicker baskets that's always on the table. He has, like, one with, like, a little kitchen towel. It's got flour on it because he used it to cover bread that he was proofing. And he just kind of, like, falls asleep. And then you just hear this, like, hella snoring for something that is like a hand and small.
All right. Well, that's one down.
He's snoring.
And Vorys is just gonna go over and start taking some of the pastries, and he'll go into, like, I guess would be like the sitting area. And Vorys is one of those things. He's gonna grab a nail for his day off, and he's gonna sit first thing in the morning, and he is just gonna sit there and eat some pastries and have a beer on his day off.
Okay. We'll cut to Salvatore. Salvatore, you get out early in the morning. There is a traffic jam through downtown Greydirge, as just wagon upon wagon is just lined up, making its way all the way to the bank that you have previously been to. And what do you want to do in town?
Today I'm going to go to the tailor's to get a tiny fingerless glove outfit made for the large hand,
Okay.
as well as a small tuxedo for him. Then I want to go to Berline's house estate and try to talk to her.
Okay.
And then find another brewery, hopefully one that's not serving poison.
Okay. You make your way into town. You're going to have to kind of get off to the side of the main road just to be out of the way of all the wagons. Berline's estate is the first thing you're going to pass along the way. It's locked up tight. Nobody in the yard. No guard outside the gates. But it is early.
I'll leave a little note on her gate.
Okay.
That says that I want to stop by later.
I miss you.
I'll be back. BFF came by, gate was locked. BRB, LOLs.
Hey, bestie. All right.
Salvatore XOXO at the bottom.
Nice.
I'll head into town.
Nice. So you make your way through. Where do you want to go first, Taylor or a bar?
I mean, probably let's just do the bar. They're probably just opening or still open from the night before.
Okay. You find a couple of places. One of them particularly loud. You go in, and for as early as it is, there's probably 8 to 10 townsfolk. All of them quick, who are just shoveling food into their mouths. The one waitress just can't keep up. They keep asking for more stuff. She comes back with like a handful of like plates. They snatch them all out of her hand. They just start eating, and she's just constantly back and forth. And the bartender just keeps pouring drinks and just keeps giving them, and they are eating.
Nice. So I'll go in here, approach the bartender. I'm looking to purchase some alcoholic beverages for a event I am planning.
He's gonna kind of I don't know how I can say this. Don't take this the wrong way, but you're not gonna like poison it for people, are you?
No poisons this time.
It's not better, but okay. We've got. Let's see what we got some mead back there. Do you even drink? I'm sorry if that sounds weird. No, right?
I will have a drink.
Okay.
If you don't come closer.
Oh, okay. Well, yes, I think I've got a couple of barrels of mead in the back. A very nice wine from Alkenstar. I don't think it's legal in town. And then some basic ale. Got tons of that.
We will take the mead.
Ah, all right. How many people are you trying to have at this thing?
Oh man, I don't even know. Give me 2 kegs. Two kegs worth, bartender.
He's gonna stand up and look behind the bar and make sure he gets the whole measure of you. Do you have a way to carry them? They're pretty heavy.
I'll find a way. I'll send.
I would say I could have them delivered later if you're in town.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll give him the address to the manor.
Oh, Quellock Manor.
Live in Quellock Manor.
You're the guys. Hey, I've heard about you. They're gonna point to the table of people just shoveling food into their face. We all heard what you did, and thanks. You know, those guys are eating right now because of you. Wow, I can't believe that you're here at my bar. You know what? Hey, yeah, free of charge. I'll even throw in some of that bootleg stuff from Alkenstar. Just tell everybody at your little gathering that where you got it, right?
Yeah, we'll do a sponsored deal.
Perfect.
We'll put his banner. Ale brought to you by whatever this bar is called.
I'm trying to think of something clever. I can't right now. Give me a second. Like, yeah, man, that'd be great. You know, hey, anybody important? You need a bartender?
Oh yeah, we do need a good bartender. Our bartenders are both left hands, so.
Yeah, you don't want to breaking glasses or anything. Yeah, just let me know. I'll have these set up, and you can see the crowd, the table, getting kind of grumbly. You know, where's our food? He's like, all right, look, I really appreciate this. Thanks for coming in. It's a big deal. You know, you and your friends and everything you've done here. I got to go in the back and finish cooking their breakfast. They haven't eaten in a couple of days.
Yeah, I have not eaten since this morning either.
Can I get you any? Oh, I know, right? And he's just gonna kind of go in the back. And he's like, "Fine, fucking make your eggs." And goes in the back and starts like cracking eggs. You can see like, you know, sizzling. Something about kiss my grits. I don't know. It's a lot of it's incoherent. And they just kind of like give you a look. Hey. Thanks for the food.
I'll give him like a really deep bow. I have the headdress on still. It's like all feathery and frilly. I'm guessing it looks like a Aztec style headdress. That seems to be a motif in Yeb.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, like, oh. And you see him kind of grumble and say a little something about you. Like, yeah, thanks, and tell your friends too, and tell your guard friend that we're sorry for causing all that trouble in the street the other day. Go back to eating.
Yeah, so now I'll just head to the tailor's and drop off those measurements for the giant fingerless glove and tuxedo.
For a town of the undead, the Tailor's Row of Greydirge, really impressive. Some really fine stuff. Lots and lots of bright colors. Most of the kind of traditional shops, at least as far as their windows and their displays go, seem to be closed at this early hour. There is one that has a lamp burning. It's all black on the outside. The windows are almost like you can't see them. And the simple wooden sign above the door is literally just like a spool of thread and like a needle.
So picking up on the fact that he is like known now in the town, he's gonna kind of, as he's like just kind of gliding through the town, like he's like looking at people like, do you notice me? Like maybe like if there's like two people standing there talking, he like goes by him really slowly and creepily, like, I'm here. And he'll actually say that as he like kind of bursts into the tailor shop. Yeah, I'm here. And as he opens the door.
This skeleton, very well dressed, but let's be real, like a skeleton. Barely any flesh. What is on there is hella old. Look up from this like crystal ball. I knew you would be coming. You are here because you seek the finest of vestments for, let's see, the minions of the beginnings of a new army. Yes?
I mainly want 2 left-handed gloves. Big ones.
Ah, left-handed. The sign of a sinister soul. Yes, let me. And he reaches behind. He starts pulling out like these bolts of like material. That's right, technical term. Some of it's like leather from like gator or something a little more. Some of it looks like spider hide. Some more traditional kind of silks and linens. Geb's a little warm. Yeah, you want to be nice about it. He was like, and you look like you are cool. Let me show you this. And he whips back this curtain, and behind there is all of this leather, except it's not the leather that you're used to.
Human leather.
Like, this is your traditional human. Little pale, little pink, not really very exotic. He was like, no, let me
He's
show
selling
you.
him pleather.
Let me show you this. And he shows you this like very nice kind of like purple lilac. He was like, this is pure elf skin. It does not get any softer. He was like, feel this. And he like pulls it out. He like wants you to touch it. Like, feel it. It is lovely. It makes some incredible gloves.
Oh, okay.
Puts it back, pulls something out, looks like very big, very tough, but like a very nice kind of obsidian dark gray like leather. It's like, this is orc. Look how thick this is. You know how warm this is? Puts it back. Like, just keeps ripping out, and like everything he does, he's just got endless bolts of what appear to be the flesh of some humanoid creature.
Gross.
They keep pulling out. Which one of these magnificent leathers can I interest you in gloves for?
Well, probably not anything made out of the skin of any of my adventuring companions' heritage.
Oh. I thought you look like a man of taste. I am sorry. I thought you were here for something very nice. If you were just like, I don't know, a bear skin or maybe even something so
Just a regular, normie.
Something as pedantic as cowhide. I suppose. I assume a man of your stature and your taste would appreciate the finer things for your minions.
So from my inventory, I'll pull out the large piece of human skin that is inscribed with magical runes on it. Can you make something out of this? And I'll hand it to him.
You're in here pointing your nose down at what I offer you, and you bring me this.
No.
Well, it was cover. It was the cover of a book, wasn't it?
It just says large piece of human skin.
That was the cover of a book.
These pieces of human skin are inscribed with the magical rituals Kepgeta knows.
Yeah. He's gonna look at the runes. He's gonna hold it over his crystal ball. I don't know that you want anything made of this. The magics are unpredictable and volatile. I would be happy to take this off your hands in exchange for something very nice. Now that you can afford it.
Just like, keep it. It's kind of like leathery and it's just kind of gross. There's still hairs attached to it.
He's like, not me. Look at this. He pulls out the elf skin, the elf leather again. Perfectly smooth. 800 years old this is.
He will also, from hanging out with these guys and kind of eyeballing him, I have a 10 plus 10 perception. It's pretty perceptive. So he's going to give this guy also the measurements of what he thinks are the measurements of the rest of the party for some fancy clothes.
Okay. It's like, oh, yes, I can have all of this done for you. If you just let me have these, I feel like I could do something with these magics. And he keeps like holding them up and like touching it with his like licked finger and like blowing on it, listening to it, just doing a bunch of weird shit. But he's very insistent that he wants it, and for the most part is willing to give you anything you want in exchange.
Nice. So I'll drop off the fancy headdress too.
He's gonna look at you, and he's gonna go reach under the counter, put his own on.
Oh, matchies. Oh, sick.
All praise the Pallid Princess. And he's going to give you like a real deep bow.
I'll bow even deeper.
He's going to pull out like a little flask and take a sip. It's going to pour right down his throat because, you know, he's a fucking skeleton.
Nice.
But he's going to Urgathoa. He's going to hand you the little drink.
What's this guy's name?
This is Bilson. Bilson the tailor.
Bilson the tailor. So I'm gonna let him in on what is happening, and we'll send him an invite as well.
Oh, I would love to be the official designer of this soiree. It sounds quite delightful. I have quite the outfit myself, as you can imagine.
Sounds like you just made a new friend.
There's some yeah. There's a joke in there about bones, but I just not quick enough to think of it right now.
I just watched The Incredibles, so somewhere I'm trying to get like an Edna reference worked in here.
So then Salvatore will head to Berline's manor and see if it's still locked up or not.
Okay. You're gonna leave. Your Taylor Bilson seems very excited. You're gonna head back to Berline's. We will cut back to the house. Kreegan, Milk, Vorys. Vorys getting a little breakfast. Argoon out cold. The big hand waiting by the door sadly for Salvatore's return. What are you guys doing as the day kind of gets on a little bit?
Alchemy.
Okay.
That's what.
Tinkering in the basement?
Tinkering in the basement.
Okay.
Yeah. Making kits and working on machines and different sorts of alchemical things.
So whenever Kreegan and Milk come back inside, Vorys will ask Kreegan, says, whenever you're finished with your business that you have, I have something that requires your set of expertise. If I could use some of your help.
Very well. I can actually help now. That's what would be the problem?
It's not really a problem per se. It's something I'd like to prevent to be a problem.
He kind of He kind of looks sad. He's like, "Oh man, I can't kill anything."
Well, you know, it is what it is. So he'll kind of take Kreegan back to the master bedroom, and he will show him the secret door that's like in the corner over here, and he'll kind of look at him and go, I'd like for this to be a little bit more inconspicuous, if possible. Make it to where us four and maybe our goon could get in, but make it almost impossible to be seen unless you know what you're looking for.
Very well. Would I be able to recruit help from some trusted members of the Builders League in this project?
I would prefer to keep this one as discreet as possible. I may help you if need be. If it is something that we must, then I believe silencing contracts might be in order.
Very well. Let me take a look, and then we can decide. As he kind of like starts, he like grabs some paper and he grabs a pencil and he starts like drawing little images on it, like plans. And he comes back to me and he says, I think I have a plan. Let's get some materials and then we can get this in motion.
Excellent. I have to go out and procure some new furniture for in there as well, so excellent.
And while Vorys goes out, Kreegan will go ahead and start like prepping the area for it.
Okay. Yeah,
He's
check.
gonna get.
So you can check.
I'll leave
Milky Boy for stuff.
Kreegan. Yeah, I'll go down to the basement and see if I can find anything for milk.
Wow.
Milky Boy, you're just banging away down there, beakers, all kinds of crazy shit. God knows doing Lord knows what. Vorys makes
welding things.
makes their way down, saying Great Scott a lot. Vorys makes his way downstairs. What are you doing as he makes his way downstairs?
As Vorys comes, you're asking me what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got like 2 tall beakers, one in each hand, and I'm kind of like pouring them into a center beaker and like sniffing at it and like putting a little bit and a little bit and sniffing, reaching behind and pouring a little more. He's at full work on the alchemical side. Behind him, he's got like just a big bunch of scrap and like half built, like weird, imagined, useless machines, and it's like a Leonardo da Vinci if he was on crack. His workshop.
So I'll kind of like come down there and like
Milk's like, what? Takes his little earphones out.
Will you come upstairs and speak to Kreegan? We might need some of your help / materials.
My help? My materials? What do you need? What's going on?
I'm interested in making a portion of our house more secure than it already is.
Oh, a safe zone, you say? He laughs. He's like, "Well, you're certainly not standing in one now." He goes over and turns the little like janky-looking flame that's on the alchemical burner, turns it off, and throws on a shirt, and he'll follow you. Whatever you need, whatever you need. You can go through all my junk. It's fine.
I don't think I'll need to go through it quite yet. I just need the promise of that it will be there.
Yeah, you could use whatever you want.
Excellent, excellent. Kreegan may need anything if he comes asking for it. It's for me.
Very well. Let's go. Let's go talk to Kreegan. He looks excited.
All right, and then we'll go back upstairs.
Anytime building is on the table, Milk is usually pretty excited about it.
So by the time you all get upstairs, Kreegan has been writing some instructions for Milk. His handwriting is extremely terrible, but it basically has instructions of the kind of like gears that he would like Milk to make, like levers and gears. Because Kreegan's plan, if everyone agrees to this, is to have like a bookshelf where like a possibly a book would be kind of stuck into it, where you could grab the book and use it to like pull a handle, and that latch would open the like pull the bookcase away from the door.
Nice.
On some wheels. But Kreegan isn't a crafter, he is a builder, so he needs Milk to take care of a couple of those bits.
No problem. Milk's built similar to this before, as far as the door construction goes. It's like I've done one of these. Not the whole room, but I've done the door at least.
Built a steel cage for your wrestling career.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly.
Alkenstar's elimination chamber.
He's I built it 2 years running.
All right. Kreegan, you're gonna leave a list of stuff to Milk. If it's just simply like mechanical stuff, gears, levers, so that like the mechanics of a lock can work. I imagine it's probably in the basement, nothing too exotic, Milk, that you would have to like really look at. Vorys, are you gonna go into town?
Yeah. I guess I'm gonna look for I guess a carpenter. Any sort of like furniture maker or anything like that. But I'm looking for more like high-end stuff. Anything that, you know, if there's any like sort of like people that specialize in like trap furniture and stuff like that, stuff with like hidden compartments and stuff like that I'm looking. I'm basically looking to turn that room into like a safe storage room for like anything for us.
You need
really
to go to an exotic animal shop and get a pet mimic. That's what you need.
I don't think I have enough money for a pet mimic.
I mean, I don't know how much. They never really told you how much the Mogwai cost in Gremlins.
That comes with it's instated that that's just going to be a problem. So here, you just take this, and this is going to be a problem for you.
I don't know. I just can't imagine people would like. First of all, like if I want a mimic, I'm just gonna capture one. I'm not gonna buy one. And first of all, like it's shitty. Why am I gonna pay you a lot of money for this thing? Doesn't seem make sense. I want to get rid of. I want to get rid of this mimic. I will give it to you for like a high five.
And also, I want to put things inside of this. So, like, unless the mimic is going to become friendly and allow me to stick things inside of its mouth, then
see what Argoon can do. All right, Kreegan, you and Milk are gonna kind of go at this. You're gonna kind of come up with a plan. Milk's gonna keep going back and forth, trial and error, getting stuff out of the basement in his workshop. You're going to town to look for what, supplies and stuff?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So basically, like, looking for some furniture, stuff like that, supplies, that anything we'll need for like the day-to-day house stuff, anything else that we'll need, and then I also wanted to see if I could find a weaponsmith to kind of infer some information about.
Okay. All right, so you're gonna head out. Kreegan, Milk, gonna stay about their tasks. You make your way out, and just as you do begin to pass the Howdley estate, you're gonna see Salvatore walking up from in town on his way back. You're both gonna see the estate still looks dark. No guards, gate shut. Doesn't look like anything's going on. And even if you peer into, like, through the gates, the gardens aren't in their various stages of ripeness. They all seem to have kind of wilted and died.
And Vorys would feel kind of strange not seeing a guard present. That would be one of those things that would just kind of like seem odd to him. Usually there's always a guard posted there, whether somebody's home or not.
That's usually too.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like Vorys is just kind of he's gonna look at Salvatore and, has this been like this all morning?
Yes, my bestie is not here this morning. She's not here now, and he's just gonna like, let me in! Shaking on the gate,
Nice.
screaming. Where are you? This is some bullshit.
Yeah, this is strange. The guard should be here. At least someone should be outside this gate at all times. That's the rule. That's almost the law. I don't understand. I have business to attend to now. Would you like to come with me and we can investigate this later?
Yeah, let's go. I love a shopping montage. I can help you pick out the furniture. Yeah.
I'm gonna do this montage to Girls Just Want to Have Fun. As you pick out furniture, I feel like that's a good choice. Vorys, you've been in this town a little bit, and you have seen the common aesthetic, and as best you know, there is only one person in this town that makes furniture. His name is Bartleby. He's a ghoul, and his furniture store is just bigger than any furniture store in a town this size has the right to be.
He's like the old Stucky building?
Yes.
Is what you're saying?
Yes.
So how
That's
close
going to sit
are
abandoned for like 30 years before they sell it.
Heard. Okay.
How much does it run with IKEA?
It's about the size of an IKEA.
And this is like this is like a single town furniture thing. This is not like a multinational conglomerate.
Yeah, my
This is
man has one store. This is it.
Yeah, and it's gigantic. So
Bartleby's Boneworks.
Bartleby's Boneworks, heard. Yeah, so it's so we're gonna go into Bartleby's. I'm gonna tell Salvatore. Well, I have one real shopping request. I must get some furniture, so I'll take you to the only real store that I know of. We shall go there.
As you make your way up, it's like a huge building. It's in like almost like a city square. Everything's set off. It is completely by itself. And you hear this kind of like magical resuscitation of, welcome to Bartleby's Boneworks. Everything we have is on sale. Welcome to the new Lunar Festival sale, blah, blah, blah. Just this kind of repeated like sales ad just keeps playing in the background as you make your way up there. There are empty human skins attached to fans.
Oh,
Like blowing. What do they need
that's
vinyl
so
for?
disturbing.
It's just blowing around. There's like a couple of them next to the door. You can tell they're getting ready for like a big sale. There's like banners everywhere. Walk in. You see the man, Bartleby himself, just come down, like really like nice suit, a lot of like rings on the finger, very nice like gold men's timepiece, monocle, like gold chains, like the whole thing. We're gonna do for you. I got some great sales. Let me put you in some fantastic bone furniture today. What are you looking for?
Is bone the only material you work in?
In this town, yes, it is. Look at everything we've done. We've done everything from the Lord Governor's house to Berline Holdley's house herself. Every chapel, every building, every bar stool I have made.
Would it be possible to get something not in bone?
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you.
It doesn't quite fit with the aesthetic.
Bones
of my
are a
building.
lot easier to come by in this town than trees are.
I'm not asking how easy to come by it is.
I mean,
I'm asking, is it possible?
I mean, I guess if you want the neighbors to laugh at you, but I mean, that's fine. Whatever, it's your house. Yeah.
What about wood with a nice bone inlay?
Ah, yeah. See, now we're talking. And he's gonna kind of link back. All the wood samples he's gonna show you look like they are bits from like a burnt building. He was like, I've got this like magnificent charcoal wood. He's gonna look at something else. It's basically like the same like
Same
board.
the other half
Yeah.
of it.
You can even see like where the seams like match up. What about this one? This one's a little lighter. He's like, we'll worry about the wood later. And he pulls out like a million bones of like little samples, all different colors and everything. So what kind of bone are we talking here?
I'm looking for something exotic.
Ooh, I know just the thing. He's gonna he's gonna pull out this bone. It is almost translucent. It is about like yay big around. And he was like, I got a ton of this. Merfolk.
Water bones?
And he like kind of shows it to you. You can see it's hollow, but it has like this very unique like color to it. Merfolk.
Like a mother of pearl almost?
Yes.
Okay.
Nobody in town has this.
What about a chest with that inlay? Would it be possible?
He's gonna like go down into his box and pull out like a torso, like a rib cage skeleton. Yeah, I got a chest right here. This thing will make a great lamp. You know. Oh, you mean like the piece of furniture? Sorry, I'm embarrassed. He's gonna put the rib cage back down. He's gonna walk over to his furniture. He's like, "What about you, good sir?" He's like, "This totally looks like your vibe. Pick out something nice. What would you like?" Talking to Salvatore.
Salvatore's just like testing beds. Like you do when you go into a furniture store, just every bed, just like jumping on, like, oh yeah, and then like to the next one and like stands on it and like flops down on it. Oh, this one's nice. Kicking the furniture, testing its durability.
They're like, he's like, I think that mattress is elf hair. They slaughtered like the world tree or something, and a bunch of them cut their hair off. So their loss is our gain. Just very nice. Just be careful. Come by. Like, yeah, he's gonna show you like all of these.
Full of tears.
Careful, it's slick. I don't have a wet floor sign. I'm not trying to get sued. Yeah, he's gonna show you like all this, like all these basic like things. They are all very bone, and so certain panels can only be but so big, and all the other things. But he's like, yeah, I've working with wood's probably like riding a bike. I'm pretty sure I could figure it out. You sure you don't want bone? Like, look at these things. And this shit looks hideous. Like, it literally looks like the worst like Walmart metal album cover like ever. It's like a bone pipe organ. Like, it's just super cliched.
No, I do believe. I believe I'm more of a warm kind of guy. Bone is a little too cool for my style.
Okay, all right, man. I mean, it's
But
up to you.
I do like the bone inlay. We can work with that.
Okay.
Maybe bone handles, some bone scroll work.
You got it. Yeah. So what all do you need?
I need a chest. I need 4 individual cabinets with half for coats and the other door drawers or shelves.
Okay.
Maybe half and half.
All right. And how would you be paying for this today? And where can I have it delivered?
Well, paying for this is no problem. Delivery would be to the Qualock Manor.
Ah, oh, it's you guys. Oh, I should have known. Oh yeah. Look, the basement of that was some of those rooms just whoo. That guy was nuts. The kind of shit he wanted. I don't blame you for wanting to redo the basement. The place was creepy. I didn't even like making some of that stuff.
See, you understand.
Oh yeah,
You
God.
understand where I'm coming from. I need something a little bit more alive than the mausoleum we're living in.
I
now.
totally get it. That place was creepy as hell. Oh my God. Is that little weird hand still there?
Yes, we've given him quite a new task. He's become quite useful.
Just look, man, be careful with that one, okay?
Oh, also, besides 4 cabinets and a chest, would it be possible to have a new desk made? The desk in the master bedroom is nice, but I need something a little more stately.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I made that one. Sure. Just back to the wood again.
Yes, but maybe something a little more different than merfolk bone.
Cool. He's like, I'll come up with something. It's like, we'll see something stately.
Remember, I'm exotic.
Ooh, exotic
and stately.
Okay. He's like, you can see the wheels turning in his head. He's like, I'll come up with something.
Then I'll start giving him like the details. So in the desk, I would like maybe like 2 or 3 hidden compartments in the desk itself, and then 1 hidden compartment in one of the drawers. The like actual like floor chest, I would like a false bottom put in that, and then maybe like velvet on the inside or something like that, something nice.
What is that, velvet?
And then
it's beautiful.
And then as far as like the cabinets, I would like them done in the styles of each person. So Milk, I would like his to be like more mechanical feeling.
Shorter.
Salvatore, I'd like his to feel more like not like morgue-esque, but like yeah, have you ever been to the museum at MUSC?
The body one? Yeah, no. Okay, I got you.
So I would kind of want to get that feeling for his, like, glass panes, maybe like a skull floating in there or something like that. Like and then as far as Kreegan, I need his a little bit bigger than the 3 other ones. So like 2 regular size ones, a small one, and a large one. And Kreegan's, his will be, we can go almost all bone, just because, it's Kreegan, and, Vorys still likes to jab at him. And let's, more orcish. Like, I'm pretty sure you've seen orc furniture before.
They've been going by all day on the road. He's like, I've seen him. He's like, all right, very good. He's like, all right, your friends sound very interesting. And he's going to look at Salvatore, and he's like, I know which one is yours. You're gonna love it.
Yes. And then maybe in the future we'll do business if these come out quite what I'm looking for. The rest of the house may need an upgrade.
I'm the only game in town, so unless you want to import furniture, I'm pretty sure we will do business again. Not a boast, statement of fact.
I used to be in the import-export business. So
Oh,
that's...
okay. Gotcha. Hey, if you still know people, just saying. All right, very well. I will have my workshop begin on this right away before the refurnishing of the entire town begins. I imagine, hopefully, whatever doesn't get bought back from Red, I will have to make it new for our lovely townsfolk. So I expect to be very busy. And I thank you. Quelloch Manor, you better believe I will have this as soon as possible.
What do you think I should give him? Like a 25 gold deposit or something like that?
My work is not so unsellable. I believe in trust. You pay me in full when they are done, and if you do not like them, you do not pay for them, and I will sell them to somebody else.
You and I might do business a lot then. I like your style.
Very well. He's like, and my style is what gets me this big ass building. All right, very well. There's nothing else you can do. I have designs to attend to and visions to behold to get you the exotic materials that you were looking for.
Yeah, wood. I'm looking for wood.
I'm gonna go cut down some trees.
Perfect.
All right. Let me kind of check with you, get anything you need. Salvatore, you will have bounced on all of the beds in the place. Some of them bounced you back.
So he'll summon use animate dead to summon a zombie to jump on the beds with him as well.
You guys just having the grand old time, like a sleepover. All right, so you and your servant bouncing up and down. You see Vorys conclude his deal, and you guys start to head out. Where would you like to go now?
I think the only other stop I have would be to try to find a weaponsmith. Maybe, one of the better ones that I know of.
Okay. All right, we'll cut back to Kreegan and Milk. What have you guys been up to? Milk down in the basement, just working for Kreegan. Kreegan coming up with plans for this thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Kreegan's got a solid plan, and he likes being useful. So.
Okay. While you guys are kind of tinkering away in your little home renovation project, you're gonna hear like an incredible like rapping at the door. So just.
Milk will put down the torch and go running towards the front door.
You're going to throw open the door. It is going to be 4 orcs in what looks like protective clothing. Not from like combat, but like big shoulders so you could throw rocks up on it. Stuff on the hips so you could carry stuff on it. Like inside of their arms all covered, but still like shorts and stuff that's practical. But you know what manual laborers look like, and they've come up. These are very well dressed. Their protective stuff is nice and clean and everything. We seek Master Builder Kreegan.
Oh, come with me.
We would rather not impose. We are not worthy of entering your house.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Milk looks at him and he's like, yeah, that's true. Wait a second.
Yeah, you guys are kind of shit. Stay here.
Yeah, he goes and runs off. Little ears fucking flopping back and forth. It's like, Kreegan!
Kreegan will step out of the room. What is it?
There are a bunch of orcs at the front door.
Tell your friends you can't play right now.
He's like, we got shit happening. Better go talk to him.
I'll see what they want as Kreegan goes to the front to look at them and say, "Has there been work sent from the Builders League?"
We come on their behalf to express their gratitude for your allegiance and for putting those tax collectors in their place. You have been hereby proclaimed and elevated to Master Builder Kreegan, a promotion surely. And they would like you to know that in the next few days, the building council will be by to discuss compensation for your help in helping them gain a foothold in this town. In the meantime, may they offer you this. And they pull out like a big sack of just looks like money. It's a big coin purse.
Kreegan grabs it, and he says, "It is greatly appreciated, but I must confess it was not done alone. My companions, the Bellatorana, Salvatore, the Ghoul, Milk, and the human guard, Vorys, they were great aids, and I may not have been able to do it without them. So ensure the builders know that they are great allies."
Divide that amongst yourselves. Decide if it is not enough. And alert the Master Council that you feel you have not been compensated fairly.
It is greatly appreciated. Is there anything I can do on behalf of the Builders League?
They are grateful for your contributions thus far. Anything that they will ask of you, I assure you they will be by in the coming days.
Very well. For now, I shall divide this generous compensation between myself and my allies, and I will await word from the builders.
It's 200 gold that they give you. A big old thing.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Kreegan, he is kind of not the nicest person, but he does have a honor system. He divides it even. Like, he doesn't try to short anybody.
And
everyone gets 50 gold apiece.
They give you their money, and they just politely leave, walk past your city guards that have been stationed outside the gate, still respectfully on the street side of it all, not on the property. And, yeah, so they're going to stop by for breakfast. All right. We'll actually take our mid-show break right there. When we come back, we will cut back to Salvatore and Vorys in town. It is currently 8:29. We're going to take about a 10-minute break. Come right back here and finish up our roleplay heavy second episode of the season. To everybody watching, thank you very much. To our good friend, Hey Wilson, thank you for stopping by. Always appreciate that. We'll see you guys in about 10 minutes, and we'll be right back. All right, we are back from our real-life short rest before we went to break. The party is spending a little downtime, having saved the city of Greydirge from this poisoning conspiracy. Everybody's kind of set about their task. Right before we went to break, we had a little contingent of builders show up, pay a little homage to Kreegan and to the party as a way of saying thanks for their new digs that they seem to be working quite intently on. Salvatore and Vorys still actually in town, on their way to a weaponsmith.
Yes.
Okay. You're gonna know the best vendors for the most part are along the streets. Where'd it go? Sorry. boom, 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 are the Court of Ghouls, where the predominant, like, the market is. And you remember now that you've been there at least once. The one that seemed to do the most business and seemed to be the most accomplished was 2 doors down from Red. Make your way there, halfway there, you're like, oh, I didn't realize that's right. Yeah, it's right down the street from Red. And as you walk up on a shop, by this time everything's open. Your walks through town, it is a completely different place than it has been for the last couple of days, maybe even weeks. The news of you thwarting the poisoning plot seems to have spread throughout the town. There's not the group of angry, quick citizenry on the verge of rioting everywhere. The taverns and food halls seem particularly packed, some of them even having lines out the door. Can't remember the last time you saw that. But you make your way up, you see a lot of the people. There's an incredible line at Red's for people trying to buy back their stuff as best that they can. Once again, the line for Red's is exceptionally long, just like it was the last time you were there. And the weapon shop lit up. The lantern in front that lets you know it's open is lit. And the door seems slightly ajar and you don't see any business, but that's understandable considering how many people are in line for Red's.
So I'll just kind of like walk up and slowly push the door open. Hello?
Nothing.
And I'll walk in.
Okay.
Hello? Is there anyone here?
Still nothing. Your voice just is going to echo off of this. It's like the shop's very narrow. It's like the cabinet, enough room for like one person, like the display, and then one person on the other side to walk.
I'll kind of do the double take. I'll step back out of the doorway and make sure it's all like, it looks like it's open. And then I'll kind of look at Salvatore and I'll go, does this seem weird to you? And then I guess I'll push in and kind of like motion for Salvatore to like come with me but to be weary.
Place doesn't look like it's been robbed or broken into. Everything seems to still be in its display cases. A nice inventory. Nothing extraordinary. Red's is much nicer. And in the back, you're going to see just a little curtain that, separates the storefront from whatever it is in the back. And as you make your way in the back, you're going to see a figure seated at a chair. They're back to you. A little candle on a desk. And they're just going to sit there motionless.
Hello? Excuse me? I'll slowly make my way towards them. Hello?
You're gonna start to hear the buzzing of flies, and get a kind of sweet sour smell, and a noted like metallic kind of taste in your mouth.
I'm definitely gonna looking towards my dead compatriot, and does this have that same sweet smell we smelled before? Do you smell that?
Oh, like from the brewery?
Yep.
Yeah. Is that the same smell we're smelling?
Maybe.
I guess hearing the flies, I'm gonna go over towards the desk and try to discern what's happening.
Not too hard to discern. You're gonna see the shopkeep that seated at his desk, weird expression on his face, giant knife through the chest, blood everywhere, on the desk, a quill in his hand, and a piece of paper underneath it with writing on it.
Can I see what the writing says?
Is he okay?
He is not, in fact, okay. I do not require a medicine check for this.
Yeah, Vorys doesn't need a medicine check on that one. He knows what a knife to the chest will do. You can't close the kitty cat out. He needs to get in here.
Oops.
Note.
That was supposed to be for Forrest, but it's gonna be for everybody. So.
I'll kind of like. I don't want to move the paper, but I want to take it and I want to show it to Salvatore, and I just kind of want to like show it to him and go, "Does this seem a little fishy to you?"
It seems like this guy wanted that guy to own his shop.
Red didn't seem like he was too friendly with anybody last time we were in there. Didn't seem like he was making that many friends. It seemed like he was busy, but it didn't seem like he...
Maybe he owed Red a lot of money. Red seems to be very popular because he has... was this guy quick before he died? Or was he dead? Now he's dead. Oh. Yeah, maybe he got in too deep and couldn't
Was
pay
Red
him.
a quick?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Man, Red's the worst. He's really like gouging his own. No, maybe he owed him money and he couldn't pay, so he killed himself by stabbing himself in the heart.
Normally you don't stab yourself like that if you're gonna kill yourself.
This is why I'm not a detective.
Yeah. Man, this is one of those things. that's just
We
like opening
animators,
up-
I don't care about them until they're dead. How they got there, whatevs.
I'm gonna. Is there any way we can communicate with this man?
No, I can't. I can only drain his juices if he's alive or a mind or like an undead that has a
Intelligence?
mind, yeah, intelligence.
Yeah, not dead.
Not dead. Okay.
How long has he been dead?
That's the thing. Is so. Can I give? Hold on. Let me see. Let me check my.
Let's give him mouth to mouth.
No. Let's see what Vorys. Let's see what Vorys can do.
A medicine check I would take that.
Okay. Medicine to see like, just based on.
Yeah, how long he's been dead?
Everything?
You're a city
Okay.
guard. You probably got some at least rudimentary like detective concepts.
All right. Well.
Okay. Oh. Salvatore.
Yeah. No.
He has not been dead very long. Like you. Okay, both of you. Not dead very long. Vorys, you are going to notice a couple of things. One, his hands are on the table, not on the knife that is currently in his chest. The blood has not all dried.
Okay, so it's been within 12 hours. And
he definitely died from a knife to the heart.
But it doesn't look like there was any struggle before that. Like, it doesn't look like there's anything misplaced or anything like
Nope,
that.
everything looks like it's there.
was he holding the quill?
Yes,
or was
like
the-
it was
was
in
it-
his hand.
Now, is it just like rested in his hand, or is it like, like gripped like you would hold a
Gripped like he
quill?
would hold
Because
it.
there's like two.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
Like he
yeah.
would
No,
hold it?
they
Okay.
didn't just lay it in there. It like
Didn't just like
yeah.
didn't place
If it
in
wasn't
there?
if it
Okay.
wasn't for the giant knife sticking out of dude's chest, it would be conceivable that he's like literally just sitting there.
Yeah, that's really weird. It seemed like he seemed as if he knew his attacker.
Is there like a back room to this place?
This is it
I think we're in
essentially.
it. Yeah.
It's kind of like the storeroom. He's got like his ledger back here.
Was there only the one door that we came in?
Yes, there's no back door out of there.
I'm also all right. I'm gonna give you.
Is there anything magical in here?
Can I give you a society check? Yeah. To. No, I guess go with the magical and all.
Everything seems to be well, like, crafted, but nothing inherently magical.
Is this building directly attached to Red's?
It's like a series of row houses. Just think like downtown here. They're all on the same block. Are they one continuous building divided up? Are they like a 3-sided building attached to like a 4-sided building next door?
So it is possible that Red could have this. Like, if Red did, inherit this place, he could very well much knock a wall down and be well and good then, huh?
It is 2 doors down from Red.
And what's the other shop? What are the other shops between them?
It's vacant.
It's vacant.
Oh, convenient.
Yeah. Can I give you a society check to see if there's been any like squabbles that I've been dispatched here in this recent neighborhood? Like, not for saying since I've been working for the Bloodlord, but when I was a guard.
Yeah.
Okay.
This street is, kind of the Fifth Avenue of Greydirge. That this is where all the nice stuff is sold. Everybody knows who these people are. And not a lot goes down here. Because of who they are, their shops are very well protected, but also beyond the store's actual security, the kind of threat of the repercussions of, robbing the big merchants in town. It takes some balls.
So this guy was well known around here.
Yeah, everybody on this street is, and like I said, you very rarely hear about them just because of this neighborhood and the prestige that nobody really fucks around in here. Because if you don't know how to act, you're not in this neighborhood, you can't afford anything. I'm not going to the Diamond District in New York because I would probably act like an asshole because I don't know how to act because I don't have fucking Diamond District money.
Because you're not buying diamonds all the time.
I don't know how that shit works. Same kind of deal.
And his security here in the shop, can I see what it is?
Salvatore is going to notice there's some warding magic on the door. That's not active now, but there's just like little stones above it that you just kind of activate and it hits it with the magic.
And it just basically like it locks the door.
Yeah.
Okay. There's no sort of any like recording devices or anything like that.
Not that you see now. Probably best to
All
keep
right.
business dealings, discreet.
Yeah. I guess the last thing I'm gonna look at would be the weapon itself. Does it look like he made it, or does it look like it was something else? It's like from another.
It's more ornate than it is functional. It looks like something that probably came from like a temple or something. It's not like nobody who you
More ceremonial than service.
Yes.
Okay.
Nobody who would legit look to protect themselves would buy this.
And nobody stabbing anybody is doing that with that because it's far more valuable as other things.
Sure. It's a knife, but it's not what it's for.
Okay.
It's supposed to go, ooh, pretty.
I give you a religion check to see like what religion it might belong to, if any.
Yeah,
like...
you can go ahead and give me a religion check. This looks like a knife of Urgathoa that would be used in like ceremonies for her. It is unbelievably like ornate to the point of being like just almost gaudy. And Salvatore, with your 28, you have heard of ritualistic sacrifices to Urgathoa.
I'll let Vorys know this information. Like, this is a ceremonial dagger that my religion uses to sacrifice the living. So this guy might have been someone's sacrifice or some kind of ritual.
Does your religion normally do this to business owners in their place of business, or does this normally happen at a temple?
Usually more ceremonial than this seems more murderous.
So you do agree with me? This is very suspicious.
It seems a little fishy.
It's been forever since I had fish. Can't say that I like the taste.
This is a very nice dagger, though.
All right. Well, we must find the guards. I'd prefer not to be a suspect. Seeing us leave here and you being a priest of Urgathoa might seem a little suspicious.
Yeah, I'll take the knife after like examining it, looking at it, and I'll just stab it back into the shop owner.
Pull it out, looking at it. Yeah.
All right, and yeah, it looks good. That's pretty close to where it was. Okay.
Cool.
But you are going to put it back, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's not a klepto.
All right. Yeah, I guess we're gonna leave everything the way it is, and then I guess we're gonna go try and find the town guard, or trying to find a guard.
Okay. You make your way outside, and just as you do, you hear a familiar voice from a close distance away, perhaps 2 doors down. Hey, is everything all right with Farkempt? And it's Red standing out on the porch.
Does he still have a line of people?
Yeah.
Maybe later, Red. Maybe later.
All right. If there's anything you need, I hope he's okay. I haven't heard from him all day.
Are you going to be at the store all day?
Probably. And he's gonna kind of like turn around and kind of show you the length of the line. Things are different now,
All right.
thanks to you. I imagine the people attempting to return to their normal lives is it's going to take all day, and I want everybody to go to bed feeling comfortable and secure. So I'll be here as long as they need me.
Well, I know where to find you then. Thank you for everything you do for us, by the way.
Always. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must get back to it. And he just kind of walks past, opens the door, next, and shoos like somebody in.
Yeah, and I guess we're just gonna go back to trying to find a guard.
Okay. Make your way a little bit. You see the guards who were outside the house when you left. Their shift has ended. And so they're heading back to the barracks at the governor's mansion. And you kind of see them like walking down the street, and they stop and give you and Salvatore like a big bow as they see you.
Are any of you gentlemen working?
We just got off duty, but anything that you would require, my lord, I'm sure the Lord Governor would be happy to accommodate.
I need a watch, and I need the watch captain.
Yes, of course. I believe, he is on duty at your gate, as we speak.
Will you send for him? My compatriot and I have found something disturbing.
Okay. Very well, and you see him like kind of run off. You guys just gonna hang out in front of the house?
Yeah. I don't want to hang out directly in front of it, but I also don't want to let people just like walk in and out, thinking that it's still open and stuff like that. So we're just kind of like doing the standing in front of the window thing.
Okay.
Not in front of the door, not really like kind of in front of the building, kind of like off to the side of the building.
Far enough that you just got to run up and stop somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So they come back. Just the watch captain, the one that sent off to get him, stayed to keep his post at the gate. What can I do for you, my lord? My lieutenant seemed to be in quite a rush.
My friend and I, we came in search of new arms, and I was going to inquire of this armorer. And when we came here, we came upon a grisly scene.
Yeah.
And I'll kind of like open up the door, and we'll all walk in together.
Kind of looks at it. Oh, he's gonna look at the note. All right, very well. We're not as barbaric as we may seem as a society. Murder is not a commonplace thing here in town. I shall assure you that I will be on top of this, and that I will alert the Lord Governor as soon as possible. And you can see him start looking around. This man's got some experience, so he looking at things like he knows what he's looking for.
Yeah. We found a note.
Oh, I saw the note.
Oh. It all seems very coincidental, suspicious.
I'll talk to Red. This is, yeah.
I don't know if Red is the culprit, but I know he may have more information into this man Farkempt.
I'm sure that Red does.
I would also try and keep it from coming to Red that I am the one that pointed y'all in his direction.
We believe in respecting those who help the Lord Governor. Your name will not come from me.
Excellent. Well, I leave this in your hands now.
See him start to pull out stuff, like little journal, writing stuff down, a little like measuring thing, and really start to like get to work, examining the body. Make sure you lock the door on your way out, please.
And if there is anything you need from us, we will be at the house.
Very, very well. I'm sure the Lord Governor will call upon you soon.
Thank you.
Lock the door. It's getting late in the day now, and the procession of wagons accompanied by orcs with building materials has stopped, and large carts of fresh fruit and barrels of ale, as well as many brightly dressed humanoids have started to kind of make their way into town. Both of you have been here for a little bit. A lot of these appear to be people coming in from out of town. A lot of carts and wagons, various modes of transport tied up outside of the inns and taverns of
Is it
town.
an influx of quick and dead, or
Quick and
what?
dead.
Okay, so it just seems like now that they feel like it's safer, that everybody's coming. It like the town's going back to its normal. Okay, hustle and bustle.
So you guys head back?
Yeah, considering what I wanted to do is now turned into a murder mystery.
It's good. It's weird. Happens. It's weird how that happens. All right, so you guys are going to make your way back. Kreegan and Milky Boy. Milk, you've been quite effective today, getting a lot of the kind of basic mechanics working. Your Kreegan, in theory, your trick bookshelf seems to be working quite well, despite the common view of an occasional hanging brain from a goblin. Milk does remarkably good work.
Heck yeah. Milk is a craftsman.
And then
it's very satisfied with the work they put in today.
And then Vorys and Salvatore are going to make their way back a little bit kind of mid-afternoon ish.
When they walk in, Milk's like, "Hey, where were you? Did that weapon dude ever get my gun?"
Red was a little tied up. He might be tied up for a while.
Why?
We went to go inquire about another weapon, and it seems he was dead.
What? Dead? It's like,
Yes.
God damn it. He says out loud, God damn it. When am I ever going to get my gun? And he's like, I hope he comes back as a dead so I can kick his ass.
Heard the quick and the dead.
Not a coincidence.
Not at all a coincidence. Milk's pouting. He's like, God damn it, that's stupid.
On the other hand, though, I might have some new furniture coming for us. On a lighter note.
Yeah, a much lighter note. Milk's like, oh, furniture, huh? I've never had my own personal furniture. I've always just sat on everyone else's.
Well, this furniture is not for sitting, but you're very welcome.
Wonderful. Just for me. It says, it's like Dobby the house elf. Wow. My own thing.
Salvatore will go into the little like lounge area. Everybody, come over here. I have some things I need to discuss with you. We're going to have a little party at the end of the week. Surprise! So if there's anybody that you would like to invite specifically or not invite specifically, give me a list and I will start writing out the invitations.
Well, I was gonna say red, but now I don't know.
Milk's like, I want to take Kreegan. Can Kreegan go?
Oh yes, you're all invited, of course. He'll go over and put the like little tuxedo outfit on the big hand, and then like fashion a serving tray to the top of his stump, so he can kind of like walk around. It's like R2D2 when he's in
Jabba's butt. Yeah.
Yeah, and just like walk around with a little cocktail cart.
Kreegan will say, I will enjoy this party you have planned. And if it helps, he's going to like pull out 2 bags, hand one to Salvatore and one to Vorys, and say, this is from the Builders League for your aid in getting that that contract.
I love gold.
I love gold.
Yes, hopefully they have plenty more rewards in the future for us. But for now, we can enjoy this party that you're planning.
Nice.
We all get gold, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody got 50.
Hell yeah.
So he wants to get Argoon, and what I want to do for food for the quick, I'm gonna cast. We think it's called Create Food. Create Food, but it says the food that's created is bland and unappealing. So and it lasts for 24 hours. So I want to. On the day of the party, I'll cast this spell 3 times. So I'll make enough food for like appetizers for like 20 people. And I want to have Argoon see what he can do to like zhuzh it up a little bit with like the spell book and some of the like spices and things.
Argoon will be thrilled.
It's just a bunch of Vienna sausages.
Yeah, just so much.
He's gonna make pigs in a blanket with 18 different crusts. Here's brioche. Here's croissant. Here's flatbread.
Here's sourdough.
Yeah, pretzel bun. All right. So if nobody has anything else, you guys just kind of lay low, hang out at the house, get back into your vibe. Next day kind of comes and goes. Any kind of trip into town, most of the shops are closed for the impending Lunar Festival. You will see more wagons and more out-of-town people pulled up to the inns and taverns. And as the population begins to swell, in a town where I think it's pretty close to 50-50 quick versus dead, with these influx of people from out of town, it seems to be a lot more quick than dead. That the streets are almost entirely filled on the second day of your downtime with quick, both locals and from out of town. The dead vendors, and they are kind of out, but there's not groups of dead hanging out and socializing like they otherwise would.
It's not a good sign.
by the third day of your downtime, before the sun is even up, there are fireworks in the sky. The entire town is lit up, and it is not going to be a huge stretch for anybody who is asleep to be awoken by this music and this ruckus that is like jumping off from the town of Greydirge. And in the middle of the night, like 3 in the morning, fireworks start going off. So if you're light sensitive, it is flashing through your window. If you're sound sensitive, you can hear a shit ton of fireworks. If you're Salvatore, you're just awake.
Creepy.
And everything just starts popping off in the town of Greydirge.
Milk is in the basement. He can't see the flashing lights, but he can hear the booms pretty well. And he comes running up there with big wide eyes, and he's like, I hear explosions! I hear explosions! And he's like trying to put on his armor and like fumbling at it because he's like all half asleep. And he's just like running on instinct. He like drops his blunderbuss and he's like, oh god, I gotta get out there. Explosions.
Salvatore, you don't sleep, so what started as a firework or two and a little bit of music off in the distance has erupted into like a full on like party.
Rabble rousing.
Yeah, like Mardi Gras popped off in the middle of the night.
Nice.
So what are you doing?
I'll go out front, outside of the house, and take a peep.
Okay. You're familiar with magic. Some of these fireworks are legit, burning actual physical things. Some of them are magical in nature to the same effect, but, it's not the same. And like I said, this town just seems to be going off. You see a lot of, like, the tall kind of, I don't think effigy is the right word, but like these things with processions, and you see kind of like Urgathoa like on a board, looking all gross and sexy at the same time like she does. Yeah, big party.
Skeletal chic.
Yes. Kreegan, you have a window, a unique one. You are on the outside of the house, the side from, towns in front of. How's Kreegan deal with fireworks waking him up in the middle of the night? And what are you going to do as the fireworks wake you up? Milk's running through the house, half naked, panicking. Salvatore's being just cool, sipping his coffee outside on the front porch, watching the fireworks go off. What are you doing?
I should probably expect that the orc community is also celebrating these fireworks, right?
Yes.
Like
like I said, it looks like the entire town.
So Kreegan will probably go to his orc community to try to. He's not like big on celebration, but he will probably be there to be with his community.
Okay.
While they celebrate, drink, tell tales of how he and his 3 allies took down the Kepgeta, maybe a little bit of boasting and exaggerating of the feats of strength that Kreegan had performed.
Okay.
The usual for
the usual orc stuff. All right, Vorys. Milk's making a racket. There are fireworks going off. What are you doing being woken up in the middle of the night? And what are you going to do about this party?
Vorys doesn't like to get woken up in the middle of the night, as y'all know. So he kind of wakes up and has just the fucking dead eyes, like, oh, what the fuck is it now? And I mean, I guess he did get a full night's rest because he kind of has been taking it easy. So that's just not the way Vorys likes to get woken up. As far as the party go, he's really just kind of taking it easy. Vorys is, he doesn't like social situations anymore. He used to be forced to go to a lot of them. With his family and stuff like that. His his former father would throw a lot of parties, so just because he was a big business stuff like that, so it was entertaining a lot. So Forrest doesn't really like social situations like that, so he's just kind of like chilling, milling about in the room, the rest of the house.
Um, Kreegan, you gonna go? Are you gonna head out to you see your peeps like at 3 o'clock in the morning? Or are you gonna wait till like later in the day?
Probably as soon as he realizes the fireworks are gonna, like as soon as he wakes up, that's probably when he's gonna head on out.
You guys are gonna see Kreegan kind of want to dip out. Anybody gonna want to go with him? Follow him? You guys can be like, all right, bro, later.
Milk will he'll finish getting his clothes on halfway through the living room, and he'll realize that the explosions are fireworks, and he gets like a huge cheese grin on his face, and it's like, Kreegan, are we going to go out there? Are we going to go look at it? Are we going to go out there? Are we going to go? And he just like grabs onto Kreegan's like boot. And he's just riding along with Kreegan now.
His leg, just hugging his foot.
Yeah, just like clenching onto his foot.
Kreegan will just warn Milk and say, now the orcs get rowdy, so just behave yourself.
You're talking to a goblin.
Dead goblin.
Yeah, a dead goblin. You think I can't get rowdy?
I just mean there will be plenty of fist fights and.
Yeah, that's what I do best. Yeah, he says.
Very well.
Flexes on you.
And they will head on out.
Yeah. Milk's just thrilled to death with every firework he sees, too. It's like childlike wonder. He's nostalgia, all that.
You make your way out into the streets. There are people who, just like you, kind of stepped out of their house, standing on their porches, standing in the street, watching all the fireworks. The whole town is decorated in silver and blue metallic decorations. Happy Lunar Festival, all these other things. And you make your way into town, and it is a really festive atmosphere. Like, it is so different from the last couple of days, bordering on like food riots, that there is genuine joy and like palpable fun having in this town. People are drinking, singing, dancing, fireworks overhead, just night and day compared to the last couple of days in town.
Tell me that there is a undead arm wrestling going on, like Argoon, except the whole arm, and they have arm wrestling.
You look around, it is way more quick than there are dead celebrating currently. Yeah, they just seem to be a lot more plentiful. You do notice a lot more orcs in town than usual. A couple of groups of like 4 and 5 kind of standing around, like, roughly wrestling or feats of strength or drinking or something, but they're all participating just like everybody else would.
And Kreegan, I say he would be bragging or whatever, but he's actually not the most like social person, but he does enjoy his like newfound status as like a sort of champion of Greydirge. Definitely had, his feats of strength recognized. And so the first chance he gets he's gonna kind of try to slip away from Milk because Milk is watching the wrestlers go, and he's going to try to talk to one of the lady orcs, one of the half orcs.
See a couple of them. Looks like her nose is broken. Like it takes like 3 dramatic like turns. She's got blood on her face. Her tusk is chipped. She's missing a couple of teeth. And she is just having like the time of her life. Like 2 mug in each hand. Like smashing them together on her own. Chugging them both. Headbutting like an orc next door. Just doing orc stuff in the middle of the street.
Kreegan definitely cheers them on as, he's enjoying the evening, expecting Milk to be enjoying the wrestling and just having a good time.
What are you doing? Takes like a big old drink.
Just enjoying the fireworks. It's been a very good week for me and my companions. You may have heard we stopped the poisoning of the ale in this town, and I happened to come through for the Builders League with the bank.
She's like, I know who you are, love. Trust me, I know who you are. We all do. We all wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. You saved more than a few clans. Builders didn't look like they were going anywhere for a while. And now with this big project and with the ovens getting done, supposedly some of us are going to get to stay here.
Yes. I was a little worried when food was running out. I know we know how to put away some food, so I knew our community would be affected the most.
It's going to be a lot worse with all of our kind here. Like, they all kind of laugh and finish off their drinks and round of headbutts for everybody.
Kreegan will grab a gallon-sized, flask, and just start downing it.
What about your little friend? Where's he at?
You asked. Oh, do you mind if I say where I'm at?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. As soon as you say that, you hear a glass break, and Milk walks down the walkway to the wrestling ring. He's got a beer in one hand, and he's got like a black vest on, and he's just like shaking his head and talking smack and like spitting beer on people. And he's looking for somebody to wrestle. Stone
Cold D'Lo Brown?
Yeah, it's basically combined the two. Yeah, and that's where he's at. He's calling people out of the crowd. He's like, "What about you, fat guy? Come on, get over here."
There's a very jovial response. Everybody seems to be having fun. This is a very kind of insular kind of orc crowd. You seem to have won them over quite quickly, and a couple of them are half joking that they want to mess with you in the same way I play fight with my nephew who's 5. Yeah, I'll play fight with you, but at a certain point I'm gonna crush you, so no. So you're getting a lot of that little kind of vibe with these giant orcs and your little goblin self.
I just imagine Milk being like Yoda, just bouncing around.
Are you nimble or no? No, right?
Yeah, no, I'm very, very nimble. Okay. Dexterity is my highest.
Oh, I thought you were going to be more of a ground game guy.
Oh, he's also strength is his next thing.
Okay.
So he's a grappler, dude. And he's looking for somebody. He knows it's fun. He's playing it up. He's trying to look over the bottom rope, puffing his chest out, who's going to take me? Who's going to do it?
Finally, one of them kind of gets up and the crowd goes nuts. And the half orc that Kreegan's talking to is like, is that your friend?
Yep. He is one of the champions of Greydirge. He's got a lot more fight in him than he looks.
Eventually, they kind of make you to the ring. This like massive orc, seems very like kind of jovial, big smile on his face. Like all of the scars, looks like my man has been in some fights before. I will challenge you, little one. I enjoy your spirit. I would also like to see how far I can throw you.
Milk drops the vest and he's like, "You got 5 minutes in the ring with me, brother." Yeah. And he's winner gets. He's like, winner gets the gold, and he throws like a purse of gold into the middle of the ring. And he gets down into like collared and elbow stance. He's ready.
He makes his way to the ring. This ring has been assembled like relatively quickly. And when he steps from like the stairs up to the actual like ring, you can feel it kind of like shift. Like his weight is so great and this ring so hastily constructed that it just kind of shifts. And the crowd's like totally into it. Everybody's having like a great time. You can see people starting to bet.
Are we gonna do the Big Show Mark Henry spot? Collapse the ring,
or the choke slam through it, or
yeah.
Brock with a tractor, like literally almost tilting the ring over.
God, that was great.
That was pretty great. That's about the time that Roman really won me over. But yeah, like the crowd's totally into it. The half orc is going to go to Kreegan. Should we do something? Is your friend going to be okay?
He can hold his own. I'm interested to see this as well. But if he needs to tag me in, I won't hesitate to partake in this match.
Okay.
Maybe a tag team duel.
Okay. He makes his way into the ring. Milk kind of looks at you. Last chance, little man, before you take a flight.
Milk just kind of like cracks his neck and he's like, bring it on, jabroni.
You hear not a bell, but a gong in the background. And he's gonna slowly kind of casually make his way up there. All right, look, I don't really want to hurt you. He was like, in fact, I'll let you go first. And he kind of stands there and he puts his hands behind his back. And I need you to give me an athletics check.
Okay. Can do. Milk's building up a head of steam as he's running in. Efficiency. Oh, athletics?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to run up full head of steam, and in a move that would clearly have won you, or at least done some real damage back home, you're going to hit him, and he's going to take a big step back and kind of wobble for like a quick second, but not lose his feet. And the crowd's going to be 50-50 split. Half of them are impressed that you actually managed to do that much. And then half of them are impressed that, in their opinion, he didn't move at all. He's going to give you a good little laugh. A lot tougher than I expected, little one. One more, and then it's on.
Milk runs back towards the ropes, bounces off the bottom ropes, and comes in with like a Luthez press right to the guy's chest. Yeah. I'll go ahead and roll again. You remember the Stone Cold's Thez press where he jumps up on you
Yep.
and gives you the ground and pound? That's exactly what's going on.
I think that's gonna do it.
Oh shit. Look at that, 28.
You're going to get a head of steam from his perspective, all he sees is this little goblin giving like a war cry, like coming running after him. He doesn't know anything about your background, does not know you were a championship wrestler from a faraway land, that you were from another promotion, doing, a cross promotion show here. And he's even laughing at the spectacle of this as you come charging at him, to which point you were going to hit him in the chest, knock the wind out of him, knock him down. He's not even selling this. You legit knock him down. The crowd goes absolutely silent for like a quick second, and then a huge ovation breaks out, like mixed with laughter, and everybody is just having like a great time. He's going to kind of try to push you off of him. He's going to stand up. He's going to put out his hand. He's going to offer it to you. I can't take any more embarrassment in front of my people. Well done, little one. He holds his hand out to shake his hand.
Milk is about to shake his hand when he pulls a beer out from behind him and he offers him a beer.
He takes it.
And
it's a beer for you. It's a shot for the orc.
Yeah. It's a little tiny goblin-sized beer, and they clink it together, and Milk has a little sip of it.
And while he's drinking it, he holds up your hand, and the crowd goes wild again.
And Milk turns on him, kicks him in the stomach, and lays a stunner on him.
Sells it like The Rock, so like down, and then big, huge bounce up onto his head, and then over. The crowd's really into it. Some guy in a crown right next to the ring is like losing his mind.
Milk runs over and whispers, "Thank you, brother," and like pats him on the back and gets up. Like,
gives you like the subtle thought. He squeezes your hand as you like walk up and check on him. He squeezes your hand, lays there totally sold, the whole thing. Crowd goes wild, just like in a basketball game, like the greatest move ever. Everybody like floods the ring. So this thing is over. Everybody wants to like shake your hand. They're trying to headbutt you, but you're a little too short, so it's hard for them. But they're headbutting themselves, drinking, having like a great time. They've like ushered Kreegan down so that you guys can be together. And like the center of the ring is just like this crowd just goes absolutely like batshit crazy.
Hell yeah. He's like, Milk's like riding on some dude's shoulders and like pouring a beer in his mouth and like a beer into his own mouth.
You've, in the span of a couple of minutes, you've become an honorary orc. They love your whole deal.
Heck yeah.
That's what Kreegan tried to tell that governor. Strength is respected. You have to get other people to do your dirty work for you. Pussy.
Yeah, you ain't nobody good.
Everybody's trying to invite you somewhere. Everybody wants you to come and hang out with them. It seems that this party is just starting.
The goblin side of Milk is quite stoked, and he's leaning in. He's like, "Party, yeah!" and just like grabs a big barrel of beer and like drinks a bunch of it and like smashes the rest on the ground. And he's screaming.
Kreegan, what are you doing? You just doing orc stuff, being orky?
Yeah, Kreegan's probably gonna get in with a little bit of the roughhousing.
Okay.
If there is any tag team between Kreegan and Milk, I just imagine Kreegan, like, have you ever seen the hammer throw?
Yeah.
I imagine Kreegan just like spinning around with Milk by the ankles and just like launching him at one of these people.
Just a big clothesline.
Yeah, Milk just clotheslining the person or kicking them.
We could definitely get another match going after we get a ring cleared.
The more you hang out, the more everybody starts to like reenact like the whole match, all both moves of it. But you see like somebody pretending to be the orc, and then somebody like on their knees pretending to be Milk, talking in an orcish high voice, and like running at them, and then like the orc like flying backwards in the most like dramatic sense. Milk the orc slayer, and all of these things have come about, and just this just this party atmosphere.
Needless to say, if Vorys is still, if he has fallen back asleep by the time we get in, we are coming in back into the house, stumbling, drunk, and making a ruckus, cheering.
Oh yeah, leaning on each other, kind of. You're way down lower than normal, and I'm like holding your leg up. We're like, where you going?
Exactly.
Yeah, just mumbling shit to each other.
As the two like drunken idiots like stumble into the house, I just kind of like light one of the lights in the little sitting room, and where have you two been?
You guys make it home at like 10 o'clock in the morning. The orcs went hard for like 6-7 hours from 3 to like 10, and then they just started passing out. Most of them actually have to go work at the bank later today.
Oh, bad. Milk's just
I
like,
did the whole like worried parent thing, like sat up in my bathrobe, just sitting in one of the chairs.
Read the paper.
Just, I'll catch them when they get home. They gotta come home sometime.
there's only one door.
Kreegan is absolutely like sloshed, and she's like, "Oh, you should have seen Milk. He was wrestling."
This guy, he was all like, wham, and it was like, whoa, and it was like crazy.
And in the middle of you saying that, Kreegan just kind of like he like loses balance, just like falls down on the ground. He just like you just hear him start snoring on the ground.
He hits and the dust is like, oof.
Salvatore, you watched Kreegan and Milk sneak off like in the early hours of the morning. The ruckus down in town has continued, fireworks, the whole nine. But as soon as like it became that acceptable time to start doing business for the town, there's been a serious procession of representatives of various very important persons of town that have shown up to give their RSVPs that they will be attending the party the following evening. They include the head of the celebrants, the head of the builders, the Lord Governor, and Berline Howdley have all responded in the affirmative that they will be attending the party, as well as a couple of other people that you've invited, some people that Vorys had heard of, kind of movers and shakers, not the big people in town, but still people you would like to have at this. That it seems like you've gotten quite the response to the invites.
Nice. Yeah, so basically this last day he'll just spend kind of tying up the loose ends. He's got to get some blood for the vampires. He'll hit up his connects at the reanimators to get some fresh-ish corpses for like the ghouls, the people to eat. And he just wants to have, it's going to be a big Urgathoa themed excessive kind of party. Look, we're important people in town now.
Look at me, I'm important, damn it.
Hi, we're important.
Okay. Vorys, while Kreegan and Milk are, doing a pay-per-view in town, Salvatore's doing some party planning. What are you getting into?
I'm still like, putting the finishing touches on our little safe room and everything like that, getting like the arcane sigils buttoned up on the inside and everything like that, getting the area laid out that I want to put all of the furniture and stuff like that, like the desk I want to put along the far wall, and then the cabinets I'm going to put like the closest interior corners and stuff like that. Like the first 4 blocks of the room, those are going to be the safe room area, so that's where all of like the cabinets and everything like that are going to go for the time being. So I'm just kind of like getting all that area prepared and stuff like that.
Okay. Salvatore, you're buttoning up the last little bits of things for the party. Vorys, you are in the safe room working on that. And then Kreegan and Milk are just going to stumble in like loud as hell, kind of going shh, but then like also screaming at each other, telling each other to be quiet.
Yeah. Yeah.
That classic move.
Yeah.
Shh.
Yeah, we've all been there. We've all been
Hell
there.
yeah.
You're not hiding everybody. It's 10 o'clock in the morning and you just got home. Like, there's no point to this. They're going to make their way. Kreegan, you're going to go pass out. Milk, you're going to go pass out.
Milk. Kreegan passed out in the living room area, and Milk passed out on the way to the stairs. They're
Okay.
just face first out.
All right. I imagine 2 drunken, passed out party members is a good place to call it for this evening. You guys got quite a lot done in a day, and well, 2.5 days, we'll say. I had this planned out, so you were in the middle of the 3rd day of your downtime by the time that Kreegan and Milk got home from the festival. All right, so a very interesting and fun freeform session. I think we only rolled like 4 or 5 dice this whole thing.
Yeah.
So those are always fun and a nice little break. As always, you see these people play these amazing characters tonight more so than average with all the free time and role playing that we had. Before they get out of here, I'll let them say a little bit about themselves, just to see what great people they are behind these incredible characters. Let's see. Let's start with Vorys. You have your safe room under construction. You are sort of part of a murder mystery, sort of, depending on how invested you want to be in it. You just watched 2 of you boys come home pissed drunk, slightly bloody and bruised, probably incoherently telling you some story that doesn't make any fucking sense about how Milk tackled an orc. You're like, yeah, buddy,
And he
whatever.
just comes in. I'm the champion.
Yeah,
I'm the
yeah,
champion
buddy.
again.
You've been around for a couple of days. I heard your stories. You were champion where you were. I got you.
You're the champion. I got it. Good for you. And like I just see him like halfway down the stairs, and I just want to like kick him down the rest of the stairs. Like, you're.
Wouldn't even know what happened. All right, so things are coming along. A legit question. How interested is Vorys in this murder, a seeming murder of the weaponsmith a couple doors down from Red?
Vorys would have to be probably like 65% invested in this.
Okay.
I mean, it is kind of like I feel like it is, out there too easily, but at the same time, it is pointing towards someone who actually gave us the benefit of the doubt in the beginning. So it's kind of one of those things, like I kind of have to give him the benefit of the doubt until I find out more. But Red's been nothing but nice to us.
It's not
So,
looking
like,
good,
his
fam.
suspicion-
Let's be honest though. Like I'm gonna say, like, yeah, I'll give the benefit of the doubt all you want. You know it doesn't look good, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
That's why Vorys is like 65%. Like,
Okay. I might have to
he
look
wants-
the other way
he
on
wants
this.
he wants to believe, that Red had nothing to do with it, but Vorys is a realist, like he said earlier. He knows he might have something to do with it. So
Awesome. Then tell us about our boy Lou.
I'm Lewis. I am a longtime player of tabletops with our wonderful DM Manny here, and this one is shaping up to be one of the funner ones, as always. A new system for me, for all of us, really, and I'm having a blast. This is actually a lot of fun. So yeah.
Awesome. Salvatore, Nick, you've got this party coming up. We're gonna get to that. It's kind of the big thing going on. What you can tell us what you're looking forward, or what you're trying to accomplish by having these relative bigwigs from town over to your house.
Well, just like kind of like we're the new guys in town. We're shaking things up, and just kind of like a more general introduction kind of a thing, so that we can either dispel or inflate rumors about us, and just like get a little more recognition with the bigwigs in town.
Okay.
Because Salvatore's ultimate ambition is to be a bloodlord himself, so just trying to schmooze as much as he possibly can.
Very fair. And then tell us about our boy Nick.
My name is Nick. I live on the West Coast. Summer is upon us, but with that comes, lots of fun times. Just got back from vacation, so that was a lot of fun. Went to the beach. I have a beautiful wife and a couple of pretty sweet pets. One of them, our neighbor's cat's hella nice and snuck in our garage this morning, so that was a ruckus to wake up to all the animals freaking the fuck out.
What's going on?
Yeah, but this has been super fun. I appreciate being able to play with these guys. Thank you for GMing this super fun campaign.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy. Let us move over to our newly crowned People's Champion, if nothing else. So, Milk, you don't got a lot of skin in the game. You're kind of a go as you see fit. Won an impromptu wrestling match. You're going to be a little bit of a folk hero amongst the orcs for a little bit. How's that sitting with you? And what else you got planned for your week off? At least your first week planned off.
Nope, doesn't have much skin in the game. You're right. He's just kind of living his best life. He got involved because he kind of could foretell a little bit that this was going to be a group that would gain power, and he's right along with it. Only
you guys are
now he's
somewhere.
found friends. Yeah, he was like, "You guys are going somewhere. I'll put myself out to join you." And now he feels like he's friends with every single person in the group, and he's just happy to be along for the ride, basically. And for the rest of the week, Milk's going to finish his crafting. He's got some new ammo types that he's working on they're in concept right now, so we'll see if he can put them into execution.
All right, and then tell us about our boy Tenta.
I'm Tenta. I have a lovely wife. I have 2 cats, and I live in Oklahoma, where it's 103 degrees and 39% humidity, and I know that ain't much to Manny and Lou, but to me, it's thunderously, murderously bad.
Ugh,
But
I'd kill for 30% humidity. Real talk.
I know, but I'm dealing. I'm learning. I love where I'm at, and I'm glad to be part of these guys.
Awesome. Love you, buddy. And last and not least, seeming the kind of impetus for a little bit of action here in Greydirge, the orc kind of stimulus package. Landon, so far it seems that your peoples have engaged in most likely the restoration of the bank, as well as a few hints to the ovens project being kind of ramped up. A lot of orcs are going to benefit from what you have done. Is that something Kreegan can see a big enough picture of? Or is it just a lot more smaller that just seeing orcs is going to be like a reward in and of itself?
Well, for Kreegan, it's always been about being recognized as a like a positive member of his community. As a Dampier orc, most orcs aren't Dampiers, so he has never felt like he truly fit in. But now that he's bringing all this success to the orcs, and he's getting more recognition, it is kind of giving him that, I want to say, validation that he's been wanting from his community. He had the strength, but now he has the feats to go with it. So he's very happy about it. He doesn't really think too like big picture. He does eventually want to be a bloodlord, but right now he's mostly just taking things one step at a time. wants to get that recognition. He wants to keep getting stronger, wants to keep proving himself every day. So,
all right. Self discovery through tabletop role playing games. Love it. And then tell us about our boy Landon.
yeah, so I'm Lemon Baker. I have a wife and I have two Saint Bernard. I call them puppies, but they're getting old. My girl, she has gray hairs now, so getting old. But I love them to death. I'm a big gamer, obviously, but outside of like Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest and stuff like that, I really don't play like a lot of the other, like I don't play a lot of shooters. But more than anything, I enjoy playing role-playing games like Pathfinder, of course. And let me just say, when I found this group of guys, it was game-changing. You all are awesome. I love it every time a Tuesday comes up, getting to play with y'all. So I look forward to it every week, and I'll definitely look forward to it next week. I laughed. I feel like my lungs about fell out today. I laughed so hard. So
Glad. So that's our amazing cast. I've been Manny at GrowedUpGeek on your social medias. Thanks to everybody who watched, to Trebor Plays Games, to Hey Wilson, good friends of the show for long and hopefully new and future friends of the show. Thank you to everybody who watched tonight. Most importantly, thank you to these four amazing guys who for 2 years we've gotten together whenever we could, sometimes on Tuesdays, Mondays, Wednesdays, whenever. But no matter what happens, no matter how long of a break we have to take because of real life, we come back here and we have the time of our lives, and I'm so thankful for it. And I just cannot thank you guys enough for, I know you guys say thank you to me for doing this, but thank you for letting me do this. It just means the world to me. I have a great time. This campaign has been absolute blast and is really the product of what happens when a group of people love the same thing and do it together for a very long time. We have as much fun as we have had tonight. That is going to be it for us tonight. A relatively short show. We wanted to quit before the party. So join us next week, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, twitch.tv/GrowedUpGeek for episode 3 of season 2 of our campaign Bloodlords, as we have a little bit of a party, finish up this lunar festival that we started tonight. And then very soon, be on the lookout for a couple of new shows. We will be finishing Legacy of Blood here very soon, our Friday night Drow sibling campaign that deserves an ending for how great the cast is over there. We will be having a Shadowrun show coming very soon after that, also on Friday nights. And then right before that, we will be having a second Pathfinder campaign in our usual Wednesday 7 p.m. slot. So be on the lookout for that stuff. We'll be putting casts together. If you would like to be part of any of those shows, please contact me at GrowedUpGeek, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. That's enough for me. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys to everybody who watched. As always, thank you to my amazing cast for you guys coming out and playing, having a great time. I love you guys. We'll be out. See you next week. Have a good night. Bye.